Louis Vuitton is discontinuing what? Hello, welcome back to Classics with a Quirk, where we talk about contemporary and luxury designer items and brands with a touch of silliness. This is the kind of content that you find interesting. Please do like this video and subscribe for more of it. Thank you. Anyone who was a fan of Louis Vuitton has heard of the Louis Vuitton toiletry pouches. The toiletry pouches 15, 19, and 26 are some very well-loved pieces of Louis Vuitton canvas, and they are kind of hard to get a hold of. Now, as toiletry pouches, they do have a wipeable interior, and people do use them as toiletry pouches or as catch-alls in their bags, much like the mini pochette. There's also been a recent trend of converting the toiletry pouches, especially the toiletry 26, into a wearable bag that has caused some controversy in the luxury community, because some people think that it shouldn't be done, some people think that it looks good, some people think it looks tacky. This is not what this video is about. This video is about the fact that Louis Vuitton is discontinuing all three toiletry pouches. Now, this was circulating a little bit as a rumor, with essays neither confirming nor denying the fact that the toiletry pouches would be discontinued, but we are now getting information from essays that are confirming, yes, the toiletry pouches are in fact being discontinued, no longer made from Louis Vuitton. In fact, they've already technically been discontinued. Louis Vuitton is just selling off excess stock that they still have. And so if you're looking to get a toiletry pouch, now might be the last opportunity to get it new, because once Louis Vuitton sells out the stock that they already have, the toiletry pouches that have already been created, there are going to be no more manufactured. Now, a lot of people have been speculating why this is. After all, the toiletry pouches are some incredibly popular Louis Vuitton items, and in fact, canvas pieces in general for Louis Vuitton are very, very popular, and they're the most sought after and most bought pieces of Louis Vuitton, period. People want that monogram canvas, and they want that monogram canvas affordable if they can, especially for people who are just starting their luxury collections. However, this is probably what Louis Vuitton is trying to avoid. Louis Vuitton has really been working on its image for the last several years. They've been pushing their leather pieces, which are more quality goods in their eyes, and they're also bigger ticket items. And they've also been trying to move away from the canvas pieces being more affordable. They've had quite a few price increases recently, where items such as the Neverfull, the Nano Speedy, the Nano Noe, the Nice BB have all gone up in price. And these are items that are not basic pieces in terms of like the negative connotation of basic, but they are starter pieces that a lot of people really like to wear and like to buy. The Neverfull is one of the quintessential pieces of Louis Vuitton and has been ever since it was introduced in 2011. The Nano Speedy took the world by storm and now is $1,300 USD, which is a far cry above what it was originally listed as when it first was released. Generally, there are talks about Louis Vuitton trying to make themselves appear as less of an affordable brand and more trying to reclaim their luxury status. Now, I am not saying that Louis Vuitton is not a luxury brand, because they are a luxury brand. They have the heritage, they have the history, they have the quality of materials, so to speak, and they also have the prices that denote luxury in a lot of cases. But they are one of the most affordable luxury brands, in part because they have canvas pieces that are not as pricey as leather goods. If you compare Louis Vuitton to Chanel or even Dior or Saint Laurent, Louis Vuitton's prices in general are much more competitive and much more affordable for the average person. And that's not a bad thing if the average person wants a little bit of luxury in their lives. Everybody deserves to have that if they so desire, but it's not necessarily what Louis Vuitton wants. Louis Vuitton markets itself to the upper class, to the wealthier, to the people who have an image that they want to cultivate. From a marketing standpoint, this is brilliant. It is getting people to buy items as fast as possible before they are inevitably discontinued, or so we think that they will be discontinued. But from the perspective of people who love the brand and love the pieces of the brand, it can be very disheartening to think about the fact that you might be loyal to buying stuff for a very long time and then have the brand go, actually, we don't want you as a customer. That's not the best feeling, and it's something that Louis Vuitton doesn't seem to care about. Obviously, they don't have to. They have plenty of money to not really care about the average layperson wanting to buy a bag or an SLG. But it does make you think about the future of what these companies are trying to move towards. Another thing people have been talking about in regards to the toiletry pouches discontinued is the fact that they've been being used as bags or clutches by a lot of people. So far, every time Louis Vuitton has had somebody replace a bag with a different item, they've either tried to remove it or they've tried to rename it. For instance, with the pochette accessoire. The pochette accessoire was an SLG for a very long time. It was very affordable, and then people were starting to use them as bags, putting longer straps on them, using them as day bags or something like that. And then Louis Vuitton raised the prices exponentially and classified it as a bag instead of an SLG. Instead of doing that with the toiletry pouches, because you cannot reclassify a toiletry pouch as anything but an SLG, Louis Vuitton seems to be just wanting to remove it from the market altogether. This does make me wonder about the future of other SLGs from Louis Vuitton. The key pouches, for instance, the mini pochette accessoire. All these items are very affordable pieces for Louis Vuitton, for luxury goods, and they're also starter pieces to get into the brand. But those same reasons are why Louis Vuitton might not be interested in selling them anymore. In the grand scheme of things, they're relatively inexpensive, so the profit margin on them isn't great. And they're smaller items, which require a lot more finite work, so they cost more to produce. Now, the cost of materials is almost negligible, especially on an item that small. It's canvas, it's this tiny bit of leather, it's a little bit of gold tone hardware. These are not expensive pieces to create material-wise. However, they are expensive to create labor-wise. Now, I actually sew, and I know firsthand that making something small and making something big, the smaller thing takes a lot more work, even though it's itty-bitty, because you would be much more careful with sewing along the seams and making sure the edges are clean and finished, and you're looking at an itty-bitty little piece, as opposed to a larger item where you don't have to worry so much about seam allowance or hemming edges because you've got more to work with there. So the smaller an item, the harder it is to make, and sometimes the more expensive it is to make. And that's not counting overhead and stocking and all the inventory and all the stuff that requires to keep an item in production on your shelves and in a warehouse and continually being produced. Now, of course, all that reasoning is just speculation, but what isn't speculation is the fact that the toiletry pouches are being discontinued and are no longer being made. And it isn't inconceivable that other small SLGs might follow. I don't know, but I am looking into it and I will report back, so please sure to hit the notification bell so you find out this information as soon as I do. On that note, if you like this video, please do give it a like because it super duper helps the algorithm, and subscribe for more content because it helps the algorithm even more. And of course, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.